Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. So we have hit this warm spell right now where we are above the freezing mark. It's actually going to be to the point where, we're hitting sort of like 10 degrees Celsius here. So hopefully I have some running water because we're going to do some planting. All right, the water's running. So that means I can fill up my pail here and get to work. My hose is still frozen, unfortunately, but at least I can water my plants. Let's check the beds here. Oh, the magic is happening. I only planted these garlic, what was it? Only a few days ago, and they're already starting to sprout. So we've got some magic happening here in the beds. This is good. I just took some of my organic saved garlic seed and planted it. Spring garlic is so great when you're trying to do stir fries and stuff like that. But they are breaking through, so this is good. We've got some progress happening. Oh, this one over here too. Just gonna try and point it out and see if I can get in there. See, so we've got some things going on here in the garden. This is good. Excellent. So today's adventure, guys, really is me just prepping the beds. And so we've got to rake all this out. I've got to do a little bit of weeding. You know how it goes. Trying to do everything so that you can get ready for spring and turning your dirt and trying to make it as perfect as possible so you can plant some good stuff in it. So I've got a lot of work to do in here, and then what we're going to be doing is also turning the soil in the beds here as well. But first things first, I have got to get underneath these Brussels sprout stems. They have grown all the way to the bottom of my bed and I could not pull them out. So surprise for me the other day was my hubby actually went and got some new garden tools for me. So I have to start with this first because these need to come out. It'll be interesting to see how long the roots are, but the stem is still intact. It's just like a tree. So I got to get in there and just get under it and dig it out. So that's going to take me a little bit. So guys, before I sign off for the day, because I'll be here pretty much all day for the next 2 days, I wanted to introduce you to, some of you were asking me about what I do to cover my plants. And so some of the things that I use are frost domes. So these frost domes come in sets, depending on where you get your local gardening supplies from. And pretty much what they are is they just look like little traffic cones. And all you need to do is once you've put in your transplant into the ground, you would then just sit this over it. It's very much like a cozy coat. And of course, once your transplant is inside, you would then backfill the edges here with sand or soil or whatever you've got so that you can keep your plants warm overnight. If you get the opportunity to find some, grab them because they work so well for your plants. And these are good, from what I understand, to about minus 15 Celsius. So like I said, we're nowhere near that temperature for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we're out of this deep freeze. But these work great. Like I said, I've used them for 2 years in a row, and they work awesome. They do keep your plants warm, and that's one of the reasons too why I was able to start so early last year. Was my plant starts were really big, but once I put these over them, we had a few cold spells. We even had a snowstorm last year, and the plants were perfectly fine, and the peppers loved it in there because I left them on so long. They got all the heat, and they really enjoyed that. So just wanted to point them out to you, and if you see them, grab them. They're great. I couldn't resist. I had to do a little frost dome castle. I'm seriously having too much fun with these. Okay, guys, so really quickly, I brought some of the starts down from the grow shelf. You can see they're nice and green and healthy. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to put the majority of these, which are not even half of the starts, just under the grow domes or the frost domes that I've got here, so to keep them warm overnight. We're sitting currently at about 26 degrees Celsius in here, so these guys will be fine overnight. It's only going to reach about 0 degrees Celsius, so they'll survive just fine. So I'm going to put them in the ground. So here are my beautiful celebrity tomato starts. They grew pretty fast since the video that we all did together there, showing the seeding and transplanting, but put these in the ground right now. Nice, beautiful roots. Now I'm going to keep these two together, guys, because I'm going to do intensive transplanting this year. So we're going to be jamming this greenhouse with even more stuff than what we did last year. So these two starts are going to stay together. And most likely during the growing season, I'm going to single stem them. Now, some of you might say, no, don't do that, but this is what I'm going to do. And I did it last year too. I'm just going to single stem them, and then that way they'll have a lot more air sort of moving through the leaves, and they'll be fine, trust me. So essentially all you do for the frost domes is you're going to make your place for your tomatoes. We're going to cover these babies in. Now I've already given them some water. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the frost dome and I'm going to put it right over it. Like this. And then we're going to backfill it. And we get around the sides here too, because sometimes there's a gap. Okay, and that is how simple it is. So this tomato, or these tomatoes, are already watered. So essentially what I've done is I've just put them under the frost domes. They will stay in here now and they will be happy. And now they can get bigger. And these are really cool because you don't even have to pick it up to water it. There's a hole on the top if you want to just put water through. They're super handy. I'm thinking I better put my lid here, or my cup that they came out of, or I'm going to forget what they are. That's never good. These are my beautiful squash plants. So we'll be putting those under too. They'll be fine. These guys are pretty hardy, so we're going to put them under now. Steal frost dome from that side. And I'm going to put the squash over here because it can sprawl out on the floor here and nothing is going to bother it. And I won't be tripping on it like I was last year when I had the cantaloupes in the middle beds. That probably wasn't a good idea, but I didn't actually think they were going to do as well as they did. So here we are. So we're going to be taking this out of my solo cup. Now there are 3 plants here. Like I said, I'm going to intensive plant. These guys are grown together. I am not going to separate them. I'm going to put them in and I'm going to let them grow over here, and they're going to be in the corner, in this corner out of the way. I'm just going to put these guys here. See if I can turn him around because that's where he wants to go. I'm going to cover him in. Isn't that beautiful? Look how green the stems are, you guys, and the leaves. It's pretty cool. So now essentially all we're going to do is we're going to take our frost dome. This guy's going to fill it. And we're going to sit it over there and we're going to basically backfill it just like I did the other ones. Okay, voila, the squash is in there. Like I said, if you want to water, you can do that. You can just pour it in on the top. But he's already been pretty good in water. The roots are pretty wet, so we'll come back and check him in the morning, but he's going to be happy there. So that's it for the video today, guys. I just wanted to show you that I am starting to plant here. It's in the, what day is it today? The 14th of March. And we are putting in some pretty good sized tomatoes right now. And as you can see, the snow, of course, is still all the way up on the back of my greenhouse, but we are definitely in the grow. These frost stones will work amazing. I suspect that the tomato plants will probably go into shock because they've been inside, but they'll get used to it. Thanks very much for joining me today, guys. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe, and see you soon.